Alright, somebody just called me. Um, it says from Chapel, Nebraska, so we'll see who it is.
Deuel County Sheriff's Office.
Hey, this is Sean. You just called me.
I did. I couldn't leave you a message because your voicemail is full. I've spoken with the sheriff, and there's already cases. There's already a case filed for the Deuel County Sheriff's Office to be investigated through Homeland Security and the FBI and everything. You've already made all those reports, so there's no new numbers for you to call.
I haven't been able to make those reports, though. That's the thing, is that nobody has bothered to take a look at any of the evidence through any of this. Not a single person. The FBI hasn't gotten back to me. They've done everything in their power not to look at any of the evidence, to outright ignore me. I've been assaulted repeatedly across the entire country. This isn't okay. Somebody needs to actually investigate it instead of telling me that there's files. Well, there's nobody working on those files, obviously.
Well, then you should probably contact those people you've talked to at those agencies again, because it's up to them to investigate us. I don't have anyone in my office that can open an investigation in our office. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's part of the problem, is that I've had to speak to your officers on multiple occasions over other situations, and they haven't investigated any of it. I continue to have problems with Chris Kurth. I continue to have problems with other people in this community. I can't go anywhere. I don't have the ability to take care of myself, and I don't have a caseworker like I was supposed to have when I was 18. I literally have no choice but to take this because there is nobody in my corner, nobody on my side. I don't have a family who cares. All I can do is take this, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired
Right.
of being punished to the point that I want my life to end, and then being punished because I want my life to end by the very people that I've been trying to turn in. I mean, Sheriff Scott Costa has already abused his power on close to a dozen occasions to cover for the wrongdoing of his officers. And then he tells me I should have brought it to him. When I brought it to him, he had me committed. When I brought it to him about Cody Sailhorse, he had me committed. When I brought it to him about Officer Hahn, he had me committed. And he had those officers drive me there to Scotts Bluff. And then I was assaulted in Scotts Bluff and had drugs forced into me. That's how you get treated when you try to turn in officers who didn't do their jobs. I need this to stop. I need someone to do something about these criminals and the things that they have done to me for the last 3 years. I need someone to actually investigate these crimes instead of ignoring these crimes until I have to do something desperate because everything that I have has been stolen repeatedly. I'm tired of it.
I completely understand your concern, and I will help you however I can. The information I have given you is all I have to give you right now. If you are seriously concerned about your safety right now and you are feeling suicidal, then I will call APS and I will
No,
make sure.
ma'am, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
That
okay,
right
okay,
there will make it worse. The help that I
okay. Please
need
tell
in
me.
order to not be suicidal is for somebody to actually investigate the crimes against me because they continue to happen and I have nobody that I can turn to. I can't go to Chapel Police Department when I'm assaulted. I can't go to Deuel County Sheriff's Department when people are threatening my life. I can't go to the Sheriff's Department when people are throwing beer bottles out the window at me and calling me an N-word lover and all sorts of shit like that, call me a child molester and a rapist and fucking nobody should have to go through that.
I agree.
I should be able to go to a police officer when this stuff happens. I have had literally hundreds of people call me and threaten me and harass me over Jamie Curtis, and I'm sick of that too. I mean, all of this is all over a situation where Natalie Bollinger should have stayed off the drugs. It was not my problem. It was not my issue. It was not my fault. And when I left the situation, it followed me everywhere I went. I went to Boulder to get away from it. It followed me there. So I came to Chapel, Nebraska. It followed me here. Most of the people that I have to talk to or hang out with in the average day have shitty attitudes or they're never there. Everybody needs positivity in their lives. And I've got abuse. I don't want this anymore. I had to deal with this in high school. The kids that I liked the most in high school were the ones who ignored me because at least they weren't bullying me.
I agree. I'm really sorry. I will try and find some more information on Monday and call you with some more information on Monday. How does that sound?
That sounds great. And I'm really sorry about all of this. I mean, you've never been mean to me, and you shouldn't have to
I
deal with
never will
any of
be,
this.
but I have to do my job, and I will do my job.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay? All right.
Be
Take care.
safe. Bye. How do I hang it up? That's Leslie Paul. She has a twin sister named Lynn. Lynn was pretty mean. But Leslie was always nice to me. A lot of the issues that I've had, I mean, here's the thing. Destiny had the office position at the Deuel County Sheriff's Department um, before Leslie got the job. And see, I tried to explain to y'all how being homeless and being called mentally ill works. How you have to have somebody in your corner. You have to have somebody who cares enough to go to appointments with you to help you to set them up. Be there as a witness. I've seen the difference between how people are treated when they go in alone and when they go in with somebody else. That's why when Desiree was trying to get shit set up in Sydney, I went in with her to help her to do that so that wouldn't get treated the way that I do. And she didn't get treated the way that I do. Lynn lives right across, or Leslie lives right across the street from a convicted child molester. Right next door to that child molester is one of my, well, right next to Leslie is one of my best friends. I'm not going to pretend that I can't be racist just because I have Native American friends, or black friends, or white friends. A lot of folks want to ignore history altogether, any history that doesn't fit their rhetoric. Like white people wanting to ignore the fact that Christopher Columbus sold 9-year-old Haitian girls to his sailors as sex slaves, or the fact that George Washington was a slave owner. There's a lot of people in this town who never did me wrong. Then again, when others did me wrong, they looked the other way, didn't they? When good men do nothing, that is evil enough. Who was it that said that? I could sit here and give you a whole bunch of quotes from Martin E. Moeller, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Leonardo da Vinci, Nikolai Tesla, Albert Einstein. Hell, they all pretty well said the same thing. You turn a blind eye to it when it happens to others. You're allowing it to happen. You are encouraging it by not discouraging it. You are encouraging it by doing nothing about it. A lot of people, they threw me away because I got frustrated that after months and months and months of their empty promises. They still hadn't kept their word. Police in this town have obstructed justice so many times that, yeah, Sheriff Scott DaCosta, at his age, he will probably be going to prison for the rest of his life. Now, who do I go to? There's a number they keep giving me that I got to get a hold of the state capitol, and there's some agency there that is supposed to help me. Well, when I got a hold of them, they told me I had to get a hold of the FBI. When I got a hold of the FBI, they told me it's not their job. Meanwhile, it is. The things that the Bollingers and their friends did are fucking gross. What the police did is even fucking grosser. To abuse a disabled man because he's disabled, to use his disabilities as an excuse to harm him repeatedly, to use his disabilities as an excuse to ignore crimes against him. Well, holy fucking shit, what kind of justice is that? It must be okay because he's mentally ill. Fuck no, it's not okay, you fucking piece of shit. If you want to be a fucking skis ball, I can be a skis ball too. I feel bad for Leslie, just as I felt bad for Destiny, and I kind of felt bad for the officers who work under Scott DaCosta. Sheriff Mike Jepson, formerly of Chapel, Nebraska. I believe he's sheriff somewhere up near Sargent. He worked under a dirty sheriff here named Jim Haith. Matter of fact, Mike Jepson married Jim Haith's daughter. Mike Jepson also decided that he wasn't going to work for another sheriff like that. Why is that? Because when you work for a crooked boss, you basically got to be afraid to come forward. Afraid of losing your job. Like Officer William Barr, former Officer William Barr. He's a coward too. Of course, most of the people I know are cowards. They're not willing to stand up for themselves, but they'll ask me to stand up for them. They're too afraid to speak up for themselves, but they'll ask me to speak up for them. Are any of them ever going to speak up for me? Fuck no, they're too afraid to even speak up for themselves. I'm sure Leslie needs the job, but it'd be nice if she could work for a decent sheriff. I believe this thing is supposed to be powerful enough that I can start fires with it. Let's see. Oh shit, yes. I made smoke. I got this for $1 at the dollar store. Either Dollar Tree or Dollar General, I don't know which. But it seems to work pretty good. Let's see if there's a piece of paper I can light on fire for y'all. This is probably a very dangerous thing to do. Oh, I'm trying to get it to work. Kinda sorta. Of course I was shaking this like a leaf and shaking this a bit too. If you bend it over and you pinch it, you can actually kill the fire with paper. Imagine that. It's gone. I got about 10 of these right before Natalie died, I was gonna set him up to make a solar heater to heat water. I had a whole bunch of pipes all set up at Ken and Leah's. They had a bunch of ideas that they wanted, and of course, we know how that turned out. I'd like to be a good man again. That's what I was built for. But all it took was one fucking lie to destroy my life, to destroy every part of my life, to destroy every friendship. Meanwhile, it must be okay to do this to me because I'm broke, because I can't afford a real lawyer, because I don't have any real friends who are actually willing to speak up, who are actually willing to keep their word. I don't have any friends that would rather keep their word than play victim. None. I'd like to believe so. There's a few people that, despite their bullshit, I still love them. Jamie, yeah, I love her no matter what. Her son, well, he hasn't done me wrong. Jamie has. A lot. There's got to be a way to get this done, but if you guys have noticed, I've made literally hundreds of phone calls without somebody actually fighting for my rights. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.